formidable citadel of academic excellence and a high-influence public policy think tank. I congratulate the Rector for his leadership, the faculty, and the university community for maintaining such high standards. Ranking among the premier international relations universities, this institute has continued to produce leading diplomats in Russia and across the world. I also commend the university for offering scholarships and fellowships to a growing number of African students, including Kenyans, who form the hundreds of our citizens studying State Institute of International Relations continues to play an important role in Russia-Africa educational relations, including development of knowledge and the skills in Kenya spanning more than 60 years. The long history of Kenya and Russia bilateral relations is marked by notable milestones, including Russia's prompt recognition of Kenya's sovereignty in 1963. Independence Day, 12th December 1963, the Soviet leader, His Excellency Nikita Khrushchev, government solemnly declares its recognition to establish diplomatic relations with Kenya and to exchange diplomatic at the ambassadorial level. End of quote. From these formative years, cooperation with the Soviet Union in technical assistance, professional training, and educational exchange developed steadily and yielded benefits for Kenya's institutions. These include the building of Kenya if you look at that, it's deliberate. This is the then leader meeting Kenya's vice president at that time, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, whose sons eventually came to study here. And one of the sons is today still in parliament as a senator and the chair of one of the leading parties in Kenya. His other previous son, who also had a stint here, passed away, but he became Kenya's prime minister. So this is down the memory lane, just to show that there's a strong bond from way back. Kenya and Russia have prioritized diplomatic engagements anchored on mutual respect, non-interference, and cooperation in development rather than ideological considerations. Even during the post-World War II global order, Kenya pursued a non-aligned foreign policy, maintaining relations with both Eastern and Western blocs on the basis of pragmatism, principle, and pursuit of its national interests. Notably, our two governments continue to engage through the high-level exchanges and consultations on matters of shared interest in international fora. Kenya recognizes the important role and responsibility of the Russian Federation as a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. In terms of international peace and security, counter-terrorism, and the management of transnational threats, including maritime piracy and organized crime, Russia's global engagement is of direct relevance to the interests of Africa. We value the partnership in these areas, guided always by our common desire for global peace and shared prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, the international community is experiencing one of its most turbulent phases. Active conflicts are claiming civilian lives, and the trust that once supported collective security is waning. Kenya is concerned where the stable is the key to security such as
Work today is broken. We're all working in too many disconnected apps, and it's killing team productivity. But for the first time, there's a platform that fixes it by combining everything you need: projects, chat, and knowledge in one place. It's all powered by the world's most complete work AI, so you can find answers from anywhere and get work done faster. Introducing ClickUp, the everything app for work.
Kujua kuhusu nafasi gani zipo Kenya kwa wanafunzi kama mimi ambazo zinatusaidia kujua utamaduni wa Kenya. Asante sana.
Please give us a brief outline in English, because unfortunately you cannot interpret it either in English or in Russian. My name is Varvara. I'm studying at the Department for International Relations, and I'm studying Swahili and I specialize in Eastern Africa. Very interesting in
get one question, two more questions, and then.
Anna Swahili katika chuo kikuu hiki pia na ninasoma hasa Afrika Mashariki. Ninataka kujua juu ya wanawake shauri juu ya kazi yake katika uhusiano wake.
For the national pass, I am also a Swahili and specialize in Eastern Africa. My question is that will the role of women
I think she responded very well to this question about ladies and the role of ladies in Africa.
Welcome. She'll speak from the podium.
Yes.
Thank you. Kwa majina yangu vile nimeambiwa naitwa Haika Mizigi. Mimi ni mjumbe, member of parliament, na ninasimamia mambo ya diaspora. Pongezi kwa nyinyi nyote ambao mnasoma hapa na Kiswahili wanazungumza vizuri. Na kwa swali ambalo limeulizwa, nafasi ambazo wanawake ni no translation. Okay. I'll do both so that she can be well answered and understand. So Kiswahili nataka kusema ya kwamba kazi kiongozi bora tumesomea unaruhusiwa kupata, iwe ni daktari, ni injinia, ni mambo ya kidiplomasia, kazi zote unaweza kufanya. Kwa hiyo kina mama hawajazuiliwa kufanya kazi zote. And in English I'm saying in Kenya, women or ladies are allowed to do any kind of job. I mean, so long as you are ready for it, prepared for it, and you're good at it, there's no limit. You can be anything you want to be in Kenya as a lady. You can be a leader, you can be a doctor, you can be an engineer, a diplomat, depending on what you're able to do. Thank you.
Thank you. The rights of women are guaranteed in our Constitution. Certain quotas it please you to know that right now Chief Justice about our country, and we continue to make sure that we work hand in hand. I just want to say that one of the reasons why we are here is to also encourage that exchange, so that exchange programs between students or professionals or academia from Russia, interaction with counterparts that we should promote, much faster in certain nations within the continent of Africa. We say that historically we are lifting, we have lifted the whole aspect of visa requirements so that you can do it online to be able to facilitate faster processing of your desire to travel to Kenya. So this, and if there are still any changes, our ambassador is here, we'll be happy to know, so that we can refine that process to allow free movement of people. The issue of direct flights, it's a conversation we engaged with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs here, and we shall be extending this conversation to look at the possibility of direct flights. In the past, we used to have a direct flight for the Russian national at that time, Aeroflot, flying into Nairobi, but that stopped over time, and I believe it was more maybe for economic or commercial considerations than anything else. And we do hope that if we grow our trade and our travels, we can definitely justify, also from an economic viewpoint, to have more flights coming directly. And that's why I talked about the need to grow our trade numbers, which are fairly modest at this point in time. We have received in the last year 9,000 tourists coming into Kenya, so we could have more, and we have more coming to visit, and this will eventually justify the restoration of direct flights from here to Nairobi. Thank you.
Здравствуйте, господин министр. Здравствуйте, Наталья Васильевна. Меня зовут
My name is Van Mazen. I am a student of the International Department.
Да, Swahili на нашем факультете.
Swahili is not taught in our department, at least not yet. I'd like to thank you for this excellent opportunity to be present here today. This meeting is incredibly important for all of us as future diplomats. Thank you very much. And my question is as follows. These days, we talk a lot about the Security Council reform. And a lot of people say that Africa has to have a permanent seat in the Security Council. I think that Kenya is one of the likely contenders for this seat. So, if Kenya wants to have a permanent seat in the Security Council, what kind of approaches would you promote in order to actively promote the rights and the interests of the African continent?
some certain level of ideological transformation in Kenyan politics, whereby there is clear ideological more democratic accountability. Thank you.
More questions?
My name is Ruslan, and I'm a student of the School for International Relations. At GIMO, I'm studying Arabic language, which has sparked my deep interest in Ethiopia, and I would like to ask, how would you assess the current state of Kenya-Ethiopia relations? What prospects do you see for further partnership between the two countries? What views are the most prospective? Thank you.
Let me deal with that. Okay. Let me start with the UN Security Council and its composition. Under the African Union, we have the Committee of 10, 10 countries on behalf of the African Union who have been focused on pursuing this specific agenda of reforming the UN and more so reforming the UN Security Council. And there are certain resolutions that were passed, one in Set and another in Nzowili, and we are categorical that a continent of 54 countries, plus a population of 1.5 billion people, since 1948, when the UN bodies were put together, it is grossly unfair that such a continent does not have representation in the Security Council. And therefore we have a resolution that we need, and canvassing for 2 seats, permanent seats on the Security Council, and I think 3 as non-permanent members within the Security Council to deal with the regions around the continent. That is our first goal, to secure the seats first. As to which country will eventually represent the continent, that will be a subsequent debate. It's not a debate for now. If we get carried away with that, we shall lose focus. So the first thing is to secure and canvass as a united African Union to secure those opportunities first. And naturally, whether it is Kenya or any other African country that is then designated to represent the continent, should this materialize, and understanding within the framework of the African Union will be priorities to that line. The issue of recently, the president of I can only encourage the gentleman from Megaton University that please don't walk in a straight jacket. We are happy to share with you, if you haven't got it yet, the agenda that the government of Kenya is promoting, which is really anchored on improving and transforming the lives of we have a explanation we have EAC, we have COMESA, we have SADC, we have ECOWAS and so forth. These are also economic blocks which help in defining trade engagements with the other friends. And in some instances, countries can, of course, have a free arrangement. We have, as Kenya, had a conversation with the Arab Emirates, and we have a trade partnership agreement with them. We have a conversation with the European Union. There's an EPA agreement. Right now, many countries are engaging with China under their proposed preferential trade arrangements with African countries. Before, there used to be AGOA, which related to exports to the American market for African countries. Of course, now it's about to expire. There's a short renewal, but these are the arrangements that can be put together. So, indeed, to have trade agreements, it's not a bad idea, provided the national interests of the country and the partners are taken taken care of. Thank you.
We have time for two.
У нас есть время для двух более вопросов.
Thank you very much for your speech. My name is Vasilisa Panasenko, and I'm really fascinated by sport diplomacy. So I wanted to ask if Kenya is interested in deepening cooperation with Russia in the field of sports, and if yes, what sports have the greatest potential for cooperation in this field? Thank you.
Firstly, I would like to thank you for your inspiring speech. It is truly a great honor for us as future diplomats and international relations students to have the opportunity to meet with you here at Guinea University. Thank you. And here's my question. Kenya is often called the Silicon Savannah, a hub of innovation and technology in Africa. Do you think Russia and Kenya could build a World Tech partnership, and what would that look like in practice? Thank you.
We have time only for two. I was said by your ambassador. Okay.
Honorable Minister, thank you for your speech. My name is Jessica Mansova, and I study international law. And as we know, at the 80th session of the United Nations Assembly, Kenyan President spoke about the crisis of the international law institutions. And my question is, how does Kenya see its role international justice, and what are the plans for expanding the African courts like regional mechanism? Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Diana. I am a student of Russian State University for the Humanities, and I would like to ask my questions. In which areas of Kenya's sustainable development agenda do you see the greatest potential for Russian engagement? Where could our Russian experience, technology, or resources be most relevant to Kenya's national priorities, and how might the Russia-Africa Summit serve as a catalyst for deeper collaboration in science, education, and academic research? What concrete steps or maybe initiatives would you like to see in these fields moving forward? Thank you. Asante sana.
There's somebody behind you.
Good morning. My name is Mary Ines. I'm a student. I'm doing the first year in Economic International Relations here at NGO. And my question is more investment oriented or into the economic sector. How open is foreign investment in Kenya, and what does it require to start a business in Kenya, either small scale or large scale business for a foreigner? Thank you.
Your Excellency, you've passed a long way. Thanks. You've passed a long way in politics and diplomacy. What would you recommend as your piece of advice for the students studying international relations, especially for those who are interested in Africa? Thank you.
Министр, хочет, чтобы все, кто стоял, задали вопрос.
The minister wants everyone to ask questions.
Все? Все вопросы?
Any other questions? If not, then okay.
Thank you for this. On sports diplomacy, Yes, we are interested in sports diplomacy. Kenya is known for long distance running, athletics. This is something that has helped perhaps in many instances to showcase Kenya, and it's one area we can develop. Russia is very strong in maybe swimming, maybe weightlifting, boxing, Winter Olympics. So these are areas that if we work together, we can grow the tourism and also grow our diplomatic engagements. And also in terms of the sports academies, that again can become an area where we can work very, very closely in promoting that. Sports must also be a source of livelihood for young men and women in all countries. So while looking at sports diplomacy, we'd also be very happy to work on how we can make this arena a revenue generating arena for all who today. The tech partnership, I can only say yes, we are ready to work with Russia. They are very strong in ICT. There are a lot of innovations from here. In Kenya, we also pride ourselves with a young, vibrant and innovative society. One of the most famous money transfer platforms called the M-Pesa, which was actually the pioneering money transfer platform, was born and bred in Kenya and one of our companies there. So there's a lot of opportunity to work together. We are seeing a lot of interest in AI, and these are there can be a lot of collaboration between Africa and Russia and between Kenya and Russia. On matters of the international law and the institutions, I think that I'm not a lawyer, but when the President spoke to this, he was speaking more, that is President Ruto, he was speaking more on the need to respect the rule of law. Our multilateral institutions, our countries will be as good as the citizens, and to what extent do they in their individual countries issues that are critical to climate integrity for African countries. For my sister from Rwanda, I want to assure you that we are all members of the East African community. We work together, and we are free for investment. The doors are open, so nobody should worry about those opportunities. Just maybe what we need to guide you is which sector do you want to invest in, and the details of that sector. But we are open to investment both within the region and beyond. What can I say to from a personal perspective on Africa? I can tell you Africa is the new 1.5 billion people. Young population. 70% of the population in Africa is below 35 years and below. A very vibrant community. So if you're looking at consumption, if you're looking at innovation, the demographics speak for. If you're looking for a market, it could be a bigger market than one. A very big potential market. Just focus on Africa and you will not go wrong. Thank you.
Dear friends, before my final thanks, I just want to say again that we have the honor and the privilege to welcome and I want to say that we have the pleasure to welcome the ambassador of Burundi, ambassador of Sierra Leone, ambassador of South Sudan, and ambassador of Gambia. One is right. Ambassador. I know you for years. I'm very sorry. Ambassador of Senegal. So even more than I expected. Thank you very, very much, investors. You know that we have a standing invitation to come to our university and to speak before our students and to meet with the administration to discuss our collaboration and our future project. Dear friends, we had very good session in English and Swahili, and now I can afford a few words in Russian. Just to say how much we appreciate Minister your visit to our university. Я должен сказать, что мы очень признательны вам.
I would like to tell you, distinguished minister, that we are very glad that you came here to our university to take part in our events. You see that there are many students and members of the academia here, and we also have plenty of ambassadors. We this opportunity to come to our university and be present this month and with more students. I'd like to say that your speech in your Q&A sessions were quite substantial in nature. Your responses were deep. The fact that you were so open in responding to the questions of evidences with our relations with Kenya are of a very friendly and warm nature. I'd like to wish you all the success in your political activities, and on behalf of everyone present here, I would like to wish all our friends a lot of well-being. I would like to say that we have again used our ties with the African universities, the members of the African Academia, the artists and the students. Thank you so much once again. I wish you a beautiful stay here in Moscow and a safe trip back home. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There are some Kenyan students in there. Can you